Welcome to this series where we are taking a look at the new realistic mode that was introduced as part of the Metro update. What I want to do in this part is focus on two and a half things. The first thing is I want to populate the construction camp we created in the last part, get that up and running so that it's functioning as an entity. Then the next thing I want to do is move up and build this area here because what I want to do is see if I can make a profit from producing clothes and alcohol with foreign workers, because I want them to get a feel for the costs. Because in the comments on not the last video but the one before that, there was a bit of a debate about whether you could make a profit using foreign workers, and I actually want to try that out. And then the half is that I want to see if I can address the great kind of bugbear, which is steel. And I'm thinking that if I might be able to put a steel mill up here, a small one, we might be able to produce our own steel. Because if we've got a functioning construction camp here, I'm wondering whether we can just, because I think the important thing is with getting this construction camp up and running is that what we can do is slow the overall pace down of construction by effectively filtering the amount that we build, because we're no longer on this deadline that you used to have before of getting everything up and running, get through the winter, because these guys can get through the winter with very little heating. Now, before we get into anything else, I'd say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me a lot to think about. Now, somebody did point out that I don't really, this is a bit inefficient, and so I'm just going to get rid of that because of the potential pollution. And also somebody pointed out quite rightly that I shouldn't be really recreating the original city that I built when I did this back in the past. And the reason I did this was to try and get a bit of a gauge with respect to the original timescale I did with my previous series. And I think I agree with the sentiment that was voiced, is that this is probably a little bit of a waste of time. I think with realistic mode now, especially starting with 1,000,000 rubles, you do need to think about things another way. And I think you also need to think on a smaller scale in order to get going. Of course, unless you want to run up piles and piles of debts in the way of loans. And I'm trying to avoid that in this mini series because there's something I'm trying to avoid that in this mini series because what I'm really experimenting with is what I can do within the 1,000,000 ruble limit, not start borrowing money, because to me borrowing money is a contingency. And one final thing, apologies that I'm saturating you with releases this week. The reason for that is that I wanted to get all this done because I'm aware that time is moving on, and I do really want to get on with what would be the full series, which is going to be an early start. So I don't want this mini series to drag out too long. Also, the upcoming weekend is going to be pretty busy for two reasons. One, I've got to do my usual family commitments, which means my recording time is quite restricted. Also, No Man's Sky is doing quite a major release, and I do want to spend a little bit of time looking at that as well. And if any of you follow the channel who are interested in No Man's Sky, I will be starting a new series, but I need to get a feel of what's in the new update before I decide, because originally I was going to do permadeath. What I've seen so far on the patch notes is that may not be such a good idea, but I'll explain a lot more about that when I'm actually playing No Man's Sky. Anyway, let's just get down to it. So the first thing we're going to do is start populating this area here. And of course, this is a little bit of a catch-22 situation. I can bring in about 20 workers in there. I don't think you need engineers, do you? And then we're going to bring in, I'm not going to fully populate this place. 2, 3, 4, 50, 60. We're going to put 60 odd in here. I'm not going to bring in foreign workers. We're going to bring in Soviet workers. We're going to put 60 in each of these 3 blocks. I'm not filling it right up. Oops, I don't know what I just bought there, but so I'm not filling these up completely, simply because I want some growth before I start expanding, because I don't have that much in the way of expansion ideas. So we're just going to come in here. That's the kindergarten. Well, I can't put population in the kindergarten, can I? So if I put that there. Now this one's going to be a little bit special. What we're going to do is bring in some educated people, because you've got the university down here. The other thing, we can't tell the loyalty, can we? I was about to say I was going to boost the loyalty, but I think the loyalty is about 30% in some things, isn't it? Should have set this before. So we're just going to speed the game up and let everybody run round. Now, at the moment we're still building these buildings down here. Another problem I've got is sport. I need to get another sports stadium over here. Because these buildings I realised can't get to this one here. So we're going to have to put in... I can actually see it. This one we're going to have to pay for some boards, but I don't think it's going to be that much in the way of cost. And we'll just add you to here. Shouldn't take long to build. I think I put a footpath through. We might be able to kind of speed this process up a little bit as well. I think that means that it's everyone except this one. I think. Nope. So these two can't get to sport, but this one can. I mean, I'm gonna have to try and expand this area anyway. So we've now got this running up here. Now I've got a bit of a debate on whether to buy a paver and a roller for these factory connections, but I'm not sure that I want to do that. And what I want to do is just build this area here. I want the cargo container there. And the other thing I'm going to need is an open hole. Bring this. I think what I'd like to do is get a couple of distribution offices. Going the wrong way. I was thinking distribution offices in the sense of my usual favourites, but I think what I'm going to do is put. I don't really want to put one there. I think we'll put one. No, I don't want one there either. Okay, we're just going to have to put them up here. I'm just very reluctant to build the roads here. Now, if you watch the previous video, so we're getting a little bit of a traffic jam here. If you watch the previous video, I had a bit of a problem with bringing vehicles out of the customs office. Now there has been an update, and it's a 0.8.810 update, I think. And they say they've had a go at fixing it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can give it a go. We're going to buy one open hole. Not open hole, covered hole, isn't it? Because we're going to be shipping crops and what we call it. So let's just go by capacity. These are the bigger trucks, so we're just going to buy one of these and see if it actually comes out of the custom shed. Yep, that one came out. I think part of the problem is if you buy too many in one go. I think that's the other problem, is that if you buy multiple, the game seems to get a bit confused. I think it's like you've got to have spaces here. Actually, let's just see if I buy another one. Yeah, that's empty. Yeah, I definitely think it's got something to do with if all these bays are full. Because it's got waiting there, see, and then it comes out again. But we'll see if that's actually fixed anyway. So we're going to get this here. I could prime this. We need to set this up now. First things first, we don't want chemicals. We've got fabric alcohol. We don't want food. We don't want electro components or mechanical components or plastics. I'm going to reduce this down. I think 6% is the lowest, isn't it? That's 16 tons. Take you down to 6%. 4% will do. Fabric. I don't want large amounts of fabric in here. This fabric is very expensive. And then what I'm going to do is push this up to about 200 odd tons. See, that fabric is still a lot more than I would like. Just wish there was a way that you could actually... so that reduces that down. Now let me just see. Our fabric for this small fabric factory, I've actually written the fabric values down. It takes 0.4 tons per day to produce 0.2 tons of clothes. So I think that is, I think if we push that fabric down to 7.35, maybe no, that's too big. 8.99 tons, 5.34. We got 298 tons of crops. I think maybe if we just reduce that a little smidge, maybe we'll reduce it down a little bit. So that means we got an output of 11 tons of clothes, 6 tons of alcohol, 9 tons of fabric and crops. Okay. I think for the moment, I'm just going to wait for this to be built. So that we got that going. How are we doing down here? We've got any problems? Well, power supply. I think we're gonna have to kind of bully these guys a little bit. We've got 20 workers. We need 4 in there. That's 12. 2 in there. That's 18. Yeah, I think for the moment we're just remove you. Well, not the power plant, the water plant. We've got to guarantee that we got water supplies into here. To see if we got water in the... Yeah, we got water in here. We got a truck coming down here. Oh, okay. Right, that's not going to work. You're full. You've got a space for the tankers, right? You go up to there. Oh, send you there. Yeah, I was a bit worried about this because all these buildings have only got one access point. And of course we got our sewage trucks going round picking stuff up, which means that they're going to have a bit of a problem. We've got our sewage truck here. This is working quite well, this thing here, because we're actually getting 1.4 tons of wastewater in there. Okay, I don't think I want workers in the orphanage just at the moment, because we got a problem. We certainly don't need workers in here. Which is, yeah, we're getting fluctuating power supplies still. I'll get a police car in here, see if that police car will... Well, it's just up in there. It's got to wait for it to come out. I don't think we need 15 police at the moment. One thing I've found is that you still do get crime even when at low levels. I certainly wouldn't mind a secret police guy. Just buy that. The reason for that is that I can't see the loyalty at the moment, and I want to see the loyalty. The question is, where is the courthouse? Good question. The only trouble with this is all the buildings look the same, but I can find the courthouse. Where's the courthouse? Right, the courthouse is up here. How many staff is in here? Oh, they're minimal, so we can just leave that alone. Now we've got a potential problem here. I don't know whether the this thing actually has a wastewater attached to it. Let me just see. All related vehicles. Okay. Well, we can leave that there for the moment. I'm just going to reduce that a bit more. We only want the one police car in there. Set that to 40%. Did I set the school and the university actually? Yep, that's So we got water in here, 99%, and it's all coming from there. We don't actually need a technical officer, or do we? Well, we'll just see how it goes for the moment. How are we doing up here? Should I set... No, we're still building this, aren't we? Do we have any workers down here? Oh, we got piles of workers here. Okay, what we can do is... This will reduce my cost, because what I want to do is... not that one. This one is not have foreign manpower doing the construction. The only foreign manpower I want is in this area here, so that we can see what the costs are. Well, that's the idea anyway. Right, you're in there. What we're gonna do is you can set. It's already assigned. Okay. Wrong one. Again. I want alcohol from here, and you're going to deliver to the pub, which is this one, I think. No, that's the accommodation. The pub is next door. So some people got the absolute luxury of we're gonna keep you full of alcohol, keep everybody happy. What is the happiness like? Happiness. At the moment, happiness is 77%. We got loyalty of about 60%. And that actually reminds me of something else that I need to put in, which I forgot about completely in the last part. We go to mods and monuments. What the game's got is we got a whole load of these. Now, I can't really show them to you because these, well, I can show you them here. These are like signposts. They have a plus 50% boost, but only for 50 meters. So what we're going to do is scatters. Oops, don't want that. We're going to scatter some of these around camp to be a bit inspirational. Mainly around the accommodation, but we can put them in other places as well, should we need them. They only need one work day to be built, so what anyone who's got nothing to do can just put another one just there. I don't think it's accumulative, but and there'll be people stood here by the bus stops, so we'll put one there, and maybe we'll have one up just up here. Oops, building in the way. Maybe we'll just shoot one over here as well. Can't build. Oh, we already used them all up. I don't know. Or is this so small? I think what we got to do is actually assign them to the... Can't see them. Get them in. Oh, what I'll do is I'll sort them out later on. I want to keep an eye on what's going on up here. Okay. What we're going to do now, this is where it's going to give me a little bit of problem. We're going to have that fabric. We're going to deliver that to there. Close and unload clothes and fabric here. No. Props, sorry, not clothes. What am I on about? And fabric. I think to start with, we'll get this at 50%. No drinking water. How am I going to do that now? Got all about that. I'm in drinking water. Oh, I've got an idea. I know. No. Distribution office. Come in here. We need a 3. I get it. And sneak it in just here. And we're I'm not a distribution office. What am I on about? Sorry. Still keep getting the two mixed together. It's a technical office we need. Hopefully maintenance. Can we get it? Oh, look at that. We can. No, we can't get it. I think maybe we'll just put it on this corner here like that. And I don't want that road. I don't think we need to have a gravel road here. That's going to mess me about. I don't really want a big truck. It's about value. Reverse it. We want something quite cheap because we only want to deliver quite small amounts of water. We got one of those. You're going to come out of the water truck. I'll get another one and another one. And what you're going to do is pick up water from there. And then your job is going to be to put water into here. Now the next thing we're going to need is a couple of buses. What's the workforce? So we've got 20 workforce here, 20 there. So we can either deliver all. So we're going to need 2 buses. Capacity. We've got 7,000 there. We've got 52 on that one. Got 25 for 3,000. Top speed 69. This is 85, but it's not really. My instinct is to go for something like a 25 and get multiple buses because we could get 2 of these for the price of one of those. But then again, this has got 40 passengers. I think we'll get 2 of these. Let us out. Yeah, see, they need a spawn point. Of course, they've got to go out and do their stuff. Oh. Where are you? Okay. Right, you're going to load workers. This is where the cost will come in. And you're going to unload workers. Also, we're going to need the line spacing. So we should now get this up and running. To what's my Construction office doing absolutely nothing. Okay, I think we're going to go on the gas station. I don't really want to build anything over here. This is a bit redundant now. We've got everything built in here. I think we've built most of the signs, yeah. Our inspirational signs are built. I think for the moment, while I'm fiddling around, we're going to just keep the guys busy working on that. Because I got a feeling we're going to need this going forward. They've actually built the roads through here as well, so I want to we'll just keep building that road there. Okay, so we've now got production. Now we got to distribute it. First thing I want to do is take that off of there and put that onto there. And you're going to pick clothes up. And then this guy, this office here, I'm going to take you off and then put you, we're going to put these directly onto the factories themselves as a single contact. But what we're now going to need is a way to export. Let's just have a look at the costs at the moment. The manpower's there, we're losing 29. Okay. Now, in theory, and I emphasize the word theory, for every 5 tons of crops, we get 1 ton of alcohol, which means that at the moment, with current prices, whoops, where's the crops gone? Wood. Where's all the crops gone? There it is. So at the moment we're buying crops at 19, say 20. So 5 tons of crops costs 100 rubles. And we can sell alcohol for 283. So in theory we can make 183 rubles profit per ton of alcohol. But we've got to pay for the workforce, and this is where it's going to get a little bit mystical. Now, for fabric, we're buying fabric at 454 rubles a ton, and we need 2 tons of fabric to produce 1 ton of clothes. I think that's it. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, for every 0.4 fabric, we get 0.2 tons of fabric. This is what we produce per day. And we can sell clothes for 1,500, and we can buy that. So technically we should make 700 rubles on profit on every ton of clothes that we sell, but we're paying a foreign workforce, and that's where it's going to get interesting. What is the percentages here? We've got 6.6 tons. We don't have a very big population. We've only got a population of 430. So if what we got here, we need some way to, this is what I put this in for, wasn't it? You can go to unload there. We only need to export small amounts. So again, covered hole. We're not going to, I mean, the production is so low, so there's no point buying these big things. We need something cheap and cheerful that will export relatively small amounts of clothes so that it doesn't drain them all out. In fact, I quite like this one. I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger. Sort by value. That one's too small. This one ports nearly a ton. This one's 0.75. This one's 0.75. Got a gas here for 1,805. This exports one ton of alcohol, or 1 ton. I actually quite like the idea of this. So, oh, here we go. Here comes the cube. It's so easy to kill this function. This is why I want to build this. Okay. Right, if you can load clothes and alcohol if there's more than 10% in there, because we've got to have enough to supply ourselves, and you can sell. Okay, we got that going. It's the gravel. That's what's killing this junction, is the gravel. Anyway, so we're now kind of looking half functional. I mean, I do have an idea, and I'll just illustrate it very quickly. But we're on the 28th of May, so we've missed this season. But what we have got is, I'm sure they had fields in here. Oh, fields next door. There we are. But what we got is these 1 acre fields. Now, these 1 acre fields fit halfway between the what we call it, they fit halfway between the small field and the medium field. If anyone's not too sure what I'm talking about, is this field is, well, I can put one in just to show you. Put it there. Put through to there. See, this field is 0.39 of a hectare. I think if I remember correctly, it brings in about 60 tons of crops, whereas the medium field is a lot bigger. But I put that alongside. This is 1.5 hectares. I think this brings in 100. But actually, just curiosity, have I got this right? Yeah, they have. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do is get rid of you. I wasn't going to do this in this part, guys. I promise. But since I've started, I've finished. Because what I was going to do is put some fields here, and then I could have a bit of farming without actually having to build a farm building. And that means that with a bit of luck, we can get you in very, very close. Well, no overlap. Did that actually connect? Get in very quick. Yep, we got that connected. Just make sure. Yep. I think we could possibly get another build in as well. If I put it that way, getting in very, very close. That one's not going to connect it, so what we're going to have to do is footpath. Not going to work. What's in the way? Oh, okay, there's a lucky junction there, so hook you to there. See if that will. That won't connect to there, but he might. Yep. And then I think if we, how about you guys? And the way it works is that we got 3 fields here. Any workers around here who have got absolutely nothing to do will come into this area here and sow the crops, and then they'll harvest it. But what we'll have to do is set up a distribution office to gather the crops, and then we can shove them into here. Well, we'll have to increase this capacity. It won't be a vast amount. You're only talking 300 tons, but 300 tons is 300 tons, and that cuts down our costs I kind of I'm getting quite a lot. Let's have a look at the unemployment. It says the unemployment is 11%. So you've got to be careful because it's only 20 workers. So this is when you've got a small population. That's something that you do need to bear in mind. I think we're got no electronics. What's up with the? Can't you get to the store? You can get to the store. I mean, we don't have a problem with no wait. We need consistent workers in here. I think we're going to jazz in some more immigrants into here. Fill that up. We need to guarantee that there's people in here. Electronics, hospital, the churches, enjoy culture. Okay. Right, we're building this now. Let's just have a look at. I'm not expecting to get. Right, so whoops, what happened there? Oh, it's Western countries. So at the moment we sold alcohol, which is understandable because alcohol's a quicker product to produce. And did we produce anything last month? Okay, we lost 35,000 vehicles imported. Yeah, maybe that's a distortion. So we take off 21,000 from this. That leaves us with 14,000. And produce, so we got 216 work days. So it costs us 2,000 and there, and we produce virtually less than a ton of alcohol. Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not overly impressed at the moment. We're kind of producing alcohol. I think the problem on the clothes side is how much clothes are we producing? We got 9.94 tons of clothes. I'm not convinced that we're going to make a profit from this, but I'm quite happy to let this run for the moment and see. What are you doing? Oh, you're building that connection to there. The way it works is that when this is finished, we'll have the inputs coming on this side. The kind of the goods coming from inside can be dropped off here and taken out and picked up from here, and then the ones imports and exports to the border were coming in and out of there. And what that should do is make this very efficient, but we need to finish off these. Maybe I should have bought a roller, but it's not like we're working going forward. I don't know. I think I'm going to work on the half. Now, the half I'm thinking is because if you come in here, our major imports is steel. 20 tons of steel. We didn't import any steel that month. So what I'm thinking is if I can build a small steel mill here, it won't be super efficient. But what we could do then is get a workforce up to here. And then the idea is that we can produce steel here, and then anything new we build, we will build using steel produced from here. That's the idea. Let me just see. It's a long time since I've gone through my factories. Now, as far as I remember, that there wasn't a steel mill or anything here. We can produce fuel, but that needs water, logs. Well, that's true. I mean, it's not going to be a big earner, but seeing my crews have got absolutely nothing to do. I'm going to get that going there. Because what we can do is mine some logs and get some planks. That will, I know that our market for planks is virtually non-existent because it's very small. But it will give us a potential for a small income. If we look at this, current prices, what's it? I can never find planks on this. What's it? Wood is peanuts. I mean, at the very least, we could import wood and get planks, but that's worth it. Boards, sorry, it's not planks, it's boards. And we can sell boards for 18 rubles a time, and they would be technically free if we send the workforce up from here. But I'm not. You just get me out. I'm just gonna have another look. Right, exports. We've made 3,475, but to make that profit, we've actually spent nearly 3,000 on foreign manpower. That's terrible. I mean, basically our profit's been consumed by the foreign manpower. Now that's rubbish. That's absolutely no good at all. And I think this was the key point in the comments. Someone was saying that oops, no, right, we want the buses. Where are you? Route. We're gonna have a route change here. We're gonna use our own workers. Remove you. Nope. Ha. What's this one called? This is the Ricali bus stop. Okay. You're gonna load workers. Customs office. We don't want you foreign workers. You're just not cost effective. Changes. We're going to use our own workers because technically, again, I know we're not going to make a massive profit, but if we can get rid of this manpower cost, that £3,000 then comes off of, or 3,000 rubles, sorry, comes off of the cost. See, what you're effectively doing at the moment is our profit is being matched by our actual costs here, which means this isn't coming down. If we see, yeah, so as far as I can conclude, it's, I mean, I would normally regard clothes and alcohol as a very high profit margin, but you don't make profit by bringing in foreign workers. So we're probably going to produce less, but there are going to be our workers doing it. So what we might need to do is expand this construction camp. In fact, I should have added more because we've only got 464 people at the moment with 15% unemployment. But what we've got, I'm kind of very tempted to put some extra people in here. But where would I put them? I could put a building here. Right, I'm going to get some more residential in. We're going to use, I mean, we could use other buildings, but I think in the spirit of this series, if we could put in, that's got power and water. Right, we're going to put two in side by side there. I want to see if they can get to all the services. Ah, that's not good. Can't put you there. Get rid of you. Wonder if we get. I think I can stretch the point with this guy. What we got here? If I can, I'm just going to put a footpath. We can get a footpath between these buildings here, but that still doesn't really connect to there because they've got to go up round there. So if I what's that? Oh, that's the signpost. Okay, let's just put that there. I've got a feeling we may have to engage in. No, that's because they've got to come back down this way. It's not going to get to that shop, is it? This is difficult. I think what we will do is we'll leave you here. No, you can't still get to the... Okay. Get to view. Still get this thing, get citizens. I'm sure if I come into here, you have to keep turning that off every time you load the game. Oops, I've deleted a road here. Okay, haha. Bit. We need to fix this. And put the footpaths in. Leave you in there like that. Right, I think for a short term, I'm going to see if we can get a small building in. Maybe we can get one in next to... Yeah, I think that will fit. We could probably put another one there. I mean, they won't go to school, but... have a quick look. Well, you can get to school. And you can get to school, but not the kindergarten, but that's okay. So we'll just put that in, drop that in there. In fact, we've got a little bit of a space here, but I'm not sure they'd be able to get up to this. I mean, I could always expand the construction camp if I wanted to. I think the change has already got us in a profit margin. Right, guys, what I'm going to do, because I think I'm aware time is pushing on, and I can't really do very much at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play through this month off camera, because I'm not going to build anything, or I'm just going to let the construction office catch up so that we can get a full month in with no foreign manpower, or very little foreign manpower. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, we've got no foreign manpower. So that's what I'm going to do, and what I'll do is I'll come back at the end of July. Okay guys, welcome back. We're not quite at the end of the month yet, but I just want to show you this. Got a bit of a Mexican standoff here, because I've got the truck that's delivering water to the water station, and the one from the distribution office has come in as well with 1.2 cubic meters. So he's kind of sat there glaring at this one until it goes, but I'm not going to do anything about it because they're both delivering water. So, and I've just checked up over here, and I've still got 2 trucks there, so they're still ensuring that I'm getting water into that production area there. I've also got a couple of homes here, and I'm not going to move anyone in just yet. I think that would be for the next part, because we've still got 11% unemployment. It says due to small child. I just wonder if the kindergarten is filling up. It's getting a little bit full. Just wondering if I put another kindergarten up here somewhere. I don't know. Says children cannot go to school. 7 workers, no kindergarten. So there is scope to put a kindergarten up here, and possibly even a school. If I put it, say, in this area next to the bus stop, it should... Well, we'll see where we can put it in. I mean, the alternative is that I can upgrade the... We can put it there. It's out of range of water, but we got our water trucks, so I think we'll just put you there. And of course, nice thing about all these buildings is none of them use steel. Right, so we're going to build a kindergarten there. Maybe we'll put in a footpath between there, maybe one there, and then we'll just get this built, and then maybe we'll think about a school as well, just to expand our little camp out. And we've got a population of 500, so I mean, the population is growing. They are happy. Just to show you that. In fact, we're on the 1st of August now, so I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to show you here. When the happiness isn't brilliant, but if I show the actual population, it's not collapsed, and as far as I can see, we've had no escapees, so everyone's happy. We had no real deaths at the moment as well, so it's because it's a very young population. So let's just have a look at the economy. Last month we made 2,709 rubles, and we exported 1 ton of clothes and 4 tons of alcohol. Not particularly that good, but we didn't have any foreign workers. And then if we look at the import, and of course the big factor here is the fact that we did not import any steel at the moment. Well, a tiny amount of steel there. So I think there is a strong case for the steel mill where we're going to be importing coal and iron from the border. The problem's going to be is where to put it, and whether we can set up something that can work very efficiently but without clogging up the border post here. I think if we can cut down our steel costs, we could start to get an growing handle on our economy. And of course, also, if we make a little bit of surplus, if we export a bit of steel prices are good. Let's have a look, do a bit of a calculation for that. See, we can sell steel for 4,997. Now, if I remember correctly, the ratio between steel and iron is 2 to 1, isn't it? Vaguely. Iron ore, sorry, let's go back here. So we can buy iron at 20 things. The only thing I can't remember, actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to come in here. I've got an idea what steel factory. Oops. Go back to here. My small steel mill. So this is saying that 211 tons of coal and 105 tons of iron will produce 15 tons of steel. So we go back to the price tag. So it is 2 to 1, but to be able to get the prices, the 23 tons, 100 tons is 230, 200s is 460. Iron is, I can't find it. Where's iron gone? Iron is 100, that's 270. So we'd still make a profit as long as we're putting our own workers up there. While I was actually letting the game run, I was thinking about maybe that rather than messing about building something like this, is like extending the construction camp into a small village that might be able to support a light industry like iron and farming. So rather than building a big modern town like this, just building a small, smaller scale town that will actually work. The other thing I also want to show you, is, which I had to do while it was actually running, is we had some criminals. Where's the prison? We've actually got some prisoners, so a couple of people got convicted, but the crime rate is very low. So I don't know if that's just because I had a courthouse, and that if they didn't, so we've just got a few minor crimes around. I think this is the way that the crime and justice thing works, is when you've got a small population, you get minor crimes, and you can technically ignore them. But so technically, probably I don't need the prison here. Got power supply problems as well. I'm finding that this power supply here is a bit inconsistent. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. Any comments, opinions, feel free to chuck it into the comment section on the video. In the next part, probably we'll look at steel. What I will say is I'm probably not going to go much further with this series, because I think I'm starting to get a handle on what I want to do. And of course, your comments are very useful. And I think maybe it's time to start thinking about the new series. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.